welcome everybody to the Inner Vibers Club and the Divine Feminine Ascension Council. Bianca and John and I are here. We're joined by Roxana, the lovely Roxana, and we are going to discuss today what we see coming for January energetically, cosmically, astrologically, because as we know, it has a direct effect on our lives. Where we've been and where we're going. And so we're going to talk about what we've all been experiencing for December and then move into what's coming in January. And I know for me personally, I do see some light at the end of the tunnel. So thank goodness. Thank the maker. So yeah, whoever wants to begin, what have y'all been going through this month?
That's a really good way to
It's a
start.
loaded question, huh?
So, yeah, I mean, this month's been, December's always kind of very personal for me because
It's your birthday.
Just going. It is also my birthday. Not on Christmas Day as yours is.
No, that's true. We're both birthday babies this month.
Yeah, I think this is my it's my third Christmas like on the road. So I've kind of spent it. Oh, there's a bit of a echo here, but yeah, I've kind of spent it by myself again, which sounds really sad, but it's not really, because it's just, I think, down to the attitude that I have towards the whole being in a foreign country and being away from everybody journey. So, but yeah, there was a kind of also a lot of judgment coming up with, oh no, you should be more outgoing and go and seek people to hang out with. But that kind of, it's strange because that kind of came up, and I was with it, I was sitting with it, and then it kind of just disappeared, completely disappeared. So it's kind of like facing that whole kind of what I think I should be doing versus what was the natural kind of thing to do. And I realised that a lot of that stuff is just kind of habitual feelings and kind of mindsets and mentalities that come up that are just kind of on automatic playback. And it's just realising that when that stuff happens, just let it pass by. And realise that a lot of it is just habit, you know? So it's,
and we're meant to rewrite that playbook,
right? I think just it's a lot. We tend to get stuck into maybe thinking or feeling a certain way or deciding that things are a certain way, when really it takes a little bit of awareness, but just to realise that maybe that was just a thought. We think things are, either negative or not productive or anything otherwise, but that can all change, so that's kind of my experience of this month.
Well, and as you say, John, be the sky, and let the clouds, let the thoughts, let the ideas and old beliefs just float on through and out the door. Keep going.
Yeah,
and they're not our beliefs anyways. It's something that we have just adopted or inherited through society, and it's what we believe that we should be doing on those certain days, may it be Christmas or may it be the birthday. So now we're here at this beautiful point, coming to the awareness that we can choose to follow this old belief pattern. And sometimes this may be what we want to do, right? Sometimes you may want to go out and you may want to meet with people, and then on other days you may just choose not to, even if people say, oh hey, what do you want to do for your birthday? Maybe you want to say, well, I just want to be with myself and enjoy myself.
Yeah, I know for me, being on Christmas Day, we had to kind of adjust. We didn't have to, but we ended up adjusting for the kids how we did Christmas, because I wanted, that day, my birthday, to be for me. And so we adjusted, our traditions are, as of right now, although, I even feel a lot of that unraveling, as we talked about last time, is that we celebrate largely Christmas Eve. We get all the presents out of the way and everything. And then
Yeah.
Christmas morning, the stockings they would do Christmas morning, but that would also be the beginning of my day. And I kind of let go a long time ago of thinking that I had to do
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Well, and when you have a birthday on a pretty much worldwide holiday, it's not everywhere, I understand, but pretty much all the first world countries celebrate it. Nothing's open. So it's not like it's not a very productive day anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Mhm.
not, people are spending time with their families. Nobody wants to be bothered on that day anyway, outside of their kind of family and friend units. And so I learned a long time ago that I'm not going to get anything done. So I might as well just be on those days. And I kind of have a tradition where I set myself up in my favorite chair with my crocheting, my writing, my favorite movies, my favorite drinks, my snacks, so I don't have to move the whole day and just kind of let go of the have
Wow.
tos. And as parents too, talking about Christmas as
Mhm.
parents, there's this pressure to have Christmas be perfect, and we stress ourselves out to no end. And I think the one thing this transition is really bringing clarity to people on is that we've been killing ourselves for nothing. The kids do not need perfection. They do not need thousands of dollars, worth of toys. They do not need all these, one thing, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but the goddamn elf on the shelf. Who came up with that? And that kind of stuff, like, like I have a friend who was like, she was like almost in tears because she forgot to move the elf one night and her kids were going to notice. And I'm like, you're being ridiculous. Like, you start to see, hopefully not from a judgmental place that I was kind of in at the beginning of that, but I was like, what the hell are you doing? But you start to see how silly a lot of these things are. And the kids don't need this. When did Elf on the Shelf start? That's a fairly new thing. Whoever came up with it is a genius. I'll give him that, because it really took off. But it's just these little things that we add to our have to list, like we don't have enough, especially as moms, that, oh, the kids need me to do this. The kid, we used to go through the trouble of, oh, well, we have to take, we would take their dad's big old boots and make prints with powdered sugar. So they would think, oh, Santa walked right out of the fireplace and blah, blah, blah. And that was cute and everything. But did we have to do all that? No. And so this month has been a lot of letting go of the have tos.
Mm. Yeah, and you did say, Wendy, that you were experiencing lots of physical
Yes,
ascension
yeah.
symptoms too. So old programs and behaviors, patterns, and emotions that were stuck, just
I'll take
purging
it.
out.
Like, I'm just so ready to be free of all this, and really it's a self-imposed imprisonment. We did this to ourselves and only we can undo it. But the really the message is, of December was that there really is no prison. Just no, it's like that there is no spoon, right, from the Matrix. It really is that simple to just
Mm-hmm.
let go of the belief that you've created a prison for yourself. Not
Mm-hmm.
not breaking down the prison necessarily. And some people may need to go through that visualization. I have a lot of clients that I walk them through literally like taking a sledgehammer and destroying, the hamster wheel or a wall or something. But really it comes down to, when you get to a certain point, you're like, there is no wall. There is no prison. It's just not real. So I think that realization is coming strong too for a lot of people. Just that empowerment, that we're in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hi, Eartha. I was just gonna text her the
And
link
don't
and
you
then she
think,
popped in. So
like, right, that, like, how I see it is that this was a whole year of
right.
letting go. This is why all the confusion had happened, because we've come to a point of dissonance between what we're told should be how we're living our lives, or how we should behave, how we should think, and then
Mhm.
this feeling deep down within our soul that is telling us something different. So we've come to this point of dissonance or confusion, and confusion was for sure the
Yeah.
word of the year, if you're asking me. So much confusion. So I feel that there has been a lot of dissolving, and to me, it already felt like that, stepping just this whole new playing field. It's like we've opened up a new
Yeah.
energetic room, right? We've dissolved the old, or of course, like it happened parallel, right? We're still dissolving the old. However, now there is something seems to be possible that hasn't been possible
Hmm.
before, if that makes sense. Like we're stepping into the new room of possibilities and of manifestation, because we we did
Yeah,
clear a
we
lot of
did.
stuff this year.
Collectively,
Like
individually,
all of
yeah,
us, we did.
a ton. And it wasn't fun. We acknowledge that it was
Hmm.
not fun and it was not easy,
Yeah,
but we're
and we'll
right.
still be doing that.
It's
Doesn't mean
never,
it's
the
over.
letting
It
go is
means
never
that
over.
there's a new door that
Yeah,
it's gonna open. Yeah, yeah. And there's something huge that's just coming around the corner. It feels like it's gonna be maybe not January, maybe like February, with a bunch of twos, with 2022, and then being in
right,
February, it's another two, and then maybe around the 2nd or the 20th or whatnot. Like there's something, you know, about that area. Maybe on the 22nd of February, 2022, maybe the whole February, but there's something that's, yeah, it's going to give us the opportunity to have. I'm just
right.
feeling new perspectives,
Yeah, February has,
So
yeah,
coming up into January, I think, yeah, and coming up to January, I feel there's already the spark of something new is there, but you can't quite grasp it yet. I feel there'll be people who are trying to grasp it too early. Like we said the last time, this is the new year, this is January, like it has
right.
to happen now. And I'm seeing it happen later on. I'm getting more the feeling of February is really where we're going into that new room
February has
of
more of the new
possibilities.
year, kind of the renewed, yeah, the
Yeah.
blank slate energy. Agreed, yeah.
Mhm.
January feels more like still cleaning up,
Yeah,
right? Still cleanup phase, still kind of cleaning up
yeah.
after the party. I hesitate to say party, and it hasn't really felt like a party, but
Hmm.
after the breakthrough, right after the we broke down a wall, and now we're cleaning up the pieces of it. January still got kind of
Mhm.
that energy.
Was
Unpacking.
this what you were saying, Andy, as well?
Yeah, sort of unpacking everything that's happened, and yeah, I mean, I think the road ahead is going to be kind of finding direction after the past, 2 years of
Yes,
mayhem.
yeah.
That's the best way I
I
could
don't think
describe
anybody
it.
would disagree with that
Um,
word.
yeah, kind of finding your way there.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely new clarity, and like new, and we knew too, or we try to surrender to the idea that we don't know what it's going to look like, right? But I think we're starting to finally not just see, well, maybe the other way around, not just feel the new coming, but we're starting to see it, and it doesn't look like anything we thought it would, but it feels good. But it still kind of feels like it's out there a little bit, but we're starting to see
Hmm.
it. Like I was saying, the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like, we talk about the journey as the
mm,
tunnel, and the light isn't necessarily a destination. It's just when we decide that we've had all the experiences and we don't need any more experiences. And so if you think of it in that term, or in that frame of mind, we're always going to be in the tunnel. It's just kind of letting that light in.
mhm.
Mm. Yeah, it's a very good way of
Yeah, and for
describing it.
parenting anyway, because I teach about this, parenting has shifted. Parenting, I've noticed that we've kind of been forced to shift the way we parent. The last decade or so, especially the last couple years, have really been different. With all the things going on, kids have been kind of asked to make adult decisions, in their lives, or we realize that we're imposing so much of what we believe on them that we've had to step back and really look at how we're doing this. How are we raising these magical human beings, and who are we helping them become by, that term helicopter parenting, that's got to go. We've got to stop doing that. We've got to stand back, hang back, let them be who they want to be. That's coming really strong for me in January, is they're going to start speaking up. And whereas, when we were kids, we might get a smack on the mouth. We have to really stand back and look at these sovereign, wise beings that we have brought into the world that are standing in front of us saying, I know what to do. I came here with the knowledge and I am ready to do it. And so they're going to want to start affecting change in the world in, little ways, obviously, like, each individual kid and everything, but we have to let them. And so parenting is changing huge. I feel like that's coming really strong. So anybody who's a parent, that's, and I know Eartha is a mom and she's already, I think we've been pretty parallel with that journey. Like we really have seen that our kids know what they're doing, and we need to let them do it. We need to back off and not be, like wiping their faces with our saliva every 10 minutes. They don't need us to do that anymore. They're good. They came into this world so much smarter than we are, that it's time to let them shine too. So that brings to inner child stuff, because we're going to be giving more power and allowing the kids to be doing more. That's going to really trigger a lot of inner child stuff for parents especially. And so we got to be just be aware, I guess, of that your inner child is going to be screaming at you, hey, you're letting your kid, right? You're observing your kid now and giving them all this freedom. What about me? When do I get to come out and play? So that's good.
You said something really interesting there that's triggered a memory that I've had, and that's a mother telling me, and it's a beautiful and also very terrifying thought. But it's I think a mother telling me having kids, because I haven't got kids, but having kids is like having loads of little mirrors around.
Yes.
Loads of little reflections. So
absolutely,
they reflect back at you. Who parts of you that you might not expect. So, and yeah, that's terrifying because it could be a really good thing, or it can be a really
right.
horrifying thing, or it could be both. So yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. Thank you.
Yeah, that is for sure. Eartha, are you with
Yeah,
us?
and
I don't know if you. Oh,
even
go
for
ahead.
January, it may be
I see she's unmuted. I just didn't know if
it
she
may
was
just be
able
a
to chime
general
in.
theme to
I'm here.
Okay.
I just you guys just
Yep.
keep
Nope.
filling the space, so
Yep.
I'm like I'll jump
Sorry.
in
Yep.
when I can,
Go
but I
ahead,
don't,
Bianca.
and I
Yeah.
don't have anything specific, and I don't want to interrupt Bianca's thought. So whatever Bianca was saying.
Go for
all
it.
good. I was just saying that, with this letting be, right? What I've got from you, Wendy, is letting the children be, like don't put on your expectations or your judgment. And I think this may be a general theme, right? As people are trying to break out of old patterns and old habits, we don't know how this is going to look for them in particular. So, it'll be just best for us to hold the space
Right.
and not to judge or to impose any expectations on how they should find themselves right now or how they should express themselves. I think we're going to see a lot of different people trying to express in many different ways that maybe we have thought are not, been looked at in terms of being good for the society or whatnot.
Right.
So I think we're just all called into the moment of just holding space for others as they're exploring and not putting, our own ways of being onto them. I think this is something that has happened all over this year, is putting our own expectations, our own ideas onto others. And it doesn't really work like that. I think this is a big theme for all of us. It's just holding the space for everyone, for the children, and also for everyone else out there exploring themselves, maybe exploring their inner child.
Yeah, I think for me it's weird because it's like all the things that you're taught as a parent and then all of the things that you have to kind of like weed through with your new sort of lenses of spiritual discernment as to like why am I doing whatever it is that I was told that I'm supposed to be doing as a parent or as a person or anything, you know, like what, I guess just asking the question. That's what this year was for me a lot, was like, why do I feel, you know, this certain way, and why um and do I need to feel that way? Do I need to feel bad about something? You know, do I need to feel a low vibrational feeling towards this aspect of my life, or can I look at it in a new way, or can I just not do whatever it is, like you guys were saying, like traditional Christmas things? Like this whole year for me was not traditional. It was the most a-traditional year I've ever had in my life. And I think like that, and all I get, you know, from messages from my guides is more to come. Like, this is the welcome to the chaos. This is not going to change. You are not going to ever feel like, you know, not for a long time, like you're secure, like you're safe, like you're, you know, like you've got it all together. Get used to this change. Get used to changing all the time. Get used to surrendering. We're asking you to do this because this is what the world is subsequently going to do, right? And we've already seen that, right? We've seen so much of the world change rapidly, not just with COVID, but like, you know, natural disasters, economic collapses, you know, all of these things, just people, just normal, like you talk about your kids, right? Like if I was the type of parent who I used to be, where I would like kind of guide all of the programming that my children see, or you know, don't allow them to see certain aspects of, you know, my life or society or what's going on, then my children just become a product of what I already know. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to know more than me. And so how does one learn things? It's through the process of discovery, right? It's being open and honest and an actual human with your person, or with your children, which I had to do.
I think John is applauding
because
you.
You know, because I can't hide moving out of my house, you know,
Right.
and lessons that they have had to learn about love and what that means, and that I've had to learn too, what love means again. And it's just opportunities present themselves. If you resist opportunities presenting themselves in natural and organic and healthy ways, then those opportunities will present themselves in other ways, because we all need to be shown who our demons are and why we have these certain beliefs, so that we can shed them and not believe them
Yep.
anymore about ourselves, right? Or about others.
Go on,
So
sister.
that's kind of my
Yeah.
lesson of December.
That's
Or
just
of
a
this whole
small
entire
lesson,
year.
right? That
So
sounds easy.
yeah.
Easy peasy.
That's awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you
that
for
was
sharing
beautiful.
that.
John was applauding
Oh,
in the Clubhouse
thanks.
way. The muting yourself and unmuting yourself. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that? I know. I was like, how come there's no way to
I
do like
know. Yeah,
emojis or anything?
make
That's
it
what
up
you
as
do,
we
huh?
go along. Yeah. So that's what you do when you want to applaud somebody. Yeah, that was,
Awesome.
yeah, absolutely. All of that, pretty much.
Yes. And that just kind of goes to the what I got this morning was, you already know what you're supposed to be doing. You already have all of, you know, all of this knowledge. You're holding it back. Why are you holding this knowledge back? You know? So that's why I'm here.
Right. You know, and we've been,
Because I don't want to
I
hold it
know,
back
and that's how
anymore.
we feel. We've talked about this for a while, haven't we, Eartha, about how we feel like we're like the greyhounds at the gate and they won't open the goddamn gate. Like, just, we're ready to go. Can we go already? Like, we're just so
Right.
chomping at the bit. Like, And, we talk about, and I do feel like that's another thing I see for January is, we talk about, oh, well, they're holding us back because not just that maybe we still have some stuff to work through, but the world's not ready. And you know what? We're done caring about that. We're done caring about that. Whoever's ready is going to be ready. And if they're not, they're not. And we are going to be let loose in January. I feel it because we have to get out there now. We have to,
Awesome.
or this is all going to be for nothing,
Yeah.
So let us loose. Let the crazy people out. Let us out of the cage.
More crazy
Yes.
people.
Right. Crazy people unite. So yeah, absolutely. Earth, I don't know if you talked, what do you see for coming for January then? I know you talked about, yeah, December has been really, really transformative. That's my positive word for fucked up. It's really transformed me.
It has, but in such a way, like, I don't know how you guys have been feeling, but ever since, and it didn't happen on the solstice, which I was kind of anticipating that it would happen on the solstice or
Yeah.
expecting it, So it was like after the solstice kind of came and went, and I was like, well, I don't really feel any different. Boo hoo, poor me. I guess they just lied and said that
You
everything was going to be on
solsticed wrong.
solstice
You
or
must have
whatever,
done it wrong.
Yeah, I failed at the solstice. And then but I woke up on Christmas morning, which I didn't have to quote unquote do Christmas because I was away from my children, right? So I woke up on the 25th, and all I could think of was return of the sun, return of the sun, return of the sun. And I just thought, like, this is it, man. Like, I felt so much different just even waking up Christmas morning. It was like I had been given a Christmas gift by my guides, like by myself. Like, now you're ready, So whereas I've been feeling like, this whole year I've been like, I'm not magical. I'm magical. I'm not magical. Everything's
Yeah.
a lie. I'm going back
Right.
to being
Plug
a
me back
3D
in.
person. I'm going, like I tried to
Yep.
crawl back into my hole so many times this year. And finally they're like, okay, you can crawl out of your hole and we'll be here. We'll be here for you. So that's kind of what I feel like for January, is that, like, I'm going to get a lot more clarity. Like, maybe I won't be, hitting the ground running until, like Bianca
Right.
said, like maybe February. That felt really nice when she said, about the
Right.
2 and the
Yeah.
2. But more of like, yeah, but more of like, clarity. Like, I see a lot more, like, just wiping away of all of the doubt.
Less confusion.
Yeah, doubt and confusion. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So fear, just letting a lot more of that stuff go. Yeah. So, I was thinking when Bianca said about the numbers, I thought, 2021 is a
Big
5.
change.
So 5 is like the most
Right.
chaotic, right? Change. Yeah, it's like the most chaotic. And my life path
Yeah.
is 5.
You're a change maker.
So I'm always, very much aware of what 5 does, and this year will be a 6 then, right? 2022. So it's more balanced. We will get the
And 6
clarity.
it speaks to creating family circles
We,
and
kind of
right.
steady feeling.
And 6 is death of the old, like
right.
allowing it to finally fall away.
Partnerships. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's more. I think
Right.
it speaks more to 6. A lot of people talk about it being about family, but I whenever I hear that now, it automatically translates to soul family, not necessarily biological family. And so I think we're finding right. I
To
think
your
we're
tribe.
definitely
Right.
forming or
Your
finding
tribe.
our soul family. And we're all soul family, but obviously maybe finding our monads, right? And those souls that we're most close to, we're starting to really solidify those relationships and
Our vibrational partners.
yeah, and
our
not
vibrational
yeah, and not we're not talking romantic, just any any kind of dynamic can be a very strong soul connection. And so yeah, we're definitely going to bring that in.
Hmm.
2022, it's a 6. I always, the first thing I always think of is Death of the Old, and I love that. Like, we used to be afraid of, they made us be afraid of 666, right? And now we know and like the death card in the tarot, and now we know that's the best card you can get in a reading, by the way. If you get the death card, it means you are
Right.
transforming, you
Right.
are, you know, renewing yourself, you are rebirthing because you're allowing whoever you've been to die. And that's huge. And so I love that too for the whole year of 2022. So yeah, 5,
Yeah.
whew, 2021 has been mayhem is perfect way to describe it, right? And it's so I like 6 does it feels calmer, doesn't it? It feels like it's settling in and calming down, and we're finding our feet again, creating those new foundations.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on what you both said about finding vibrational partners, or counterparts. And I've got a business relationship that's developed over the last few months, which is completely left field. I never expected for this to happen, but I was open to whatever was going to come from it. I didn't even go into the situation making friends with this person, expecting or hoping or with anything in mind. And something really beautiful and powerful has flourished and blossomed from that. So yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that I would offer for the coming year is just be open to what comes your way and seeing how you can work
Yeah.
with it.
And that's just it too, is just letting it come, letting the
Very
good
nice.
stuff come. We want to know what it is. We want to define it. We want to put it in a box, and what I think a lot of us have said so many times
Mm-hmm.
is, if we can let go of even our wildest dreams, then what the universe has planned, which is 1,000 times better, can come in. Let go of that house and car
Right.
and lover and, body, right? Dream body. And let go of all of that because the universe has better stuff planned.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's been a process of working on letting as for those of you who know me, I've practiced releasing, so I've done a lot of that. And yeah, the going in with an open mind and uh,
Yeah,
no expectations of what will come out
it is.
is
It's
a really
huge.
powerful thing to do, and just yeah, because yeah, what we think we want sometimes isn't
Exactly.
what we want.
Because we don't know the
So
possibilities, right?
yeah,
We've already,
it's a case
yeah,
of
we've
just
already built that
clearing the
wall. Well,
mind.
I'm not
Yeah,
worth this.
totally,
I'm not
totally.
worth fame and fortune. So I'll settle for this. And then we try to manifest that settling and then wonder why we can't get it.
Hmm.
Because the universe is waiting for you to let go of that so it can bring you fame and fortune.
Yeah,
Not that that's everybody's, but yeah, that's kind of the gist is,
yeah, and
right?
what
Amen.
I'll take
Yeah,
some
I'll
fame
take
and
the
fortune,
fortune. I
or
don't give a
fortune
shit
if you
about
would.
fame. No, I don't care about fame.
I don't know about fame.
I'd
Can
like to
I
be
have
the
some
I'll be
fortune
the
without
hidden
the
money
fame?
behind the light worker movement, right? I don't care if anybody knows my name.
the
Right.
hidden money now. What about Roxana and Brian? You've been here a
Please,
while.
yeah.
Have you got anything you'd like to share or comment on?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
everybody.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
hello.
Hi.
We can hear you. Yeah.
You guys are making me laugh. It's a very,
Oh,
it's
good.
a very nice vibe here. My voice is shaking a bit. I feel like I need to practice speaking more and more in this kind of things because I get invites on podcasts or interviews, and I'm like, oh my god,
Mm,
my throat chakra. I still need to work on it, but I am healing it just by practicing it and showing. I mean, to show up and to let myself be nervous or um, yeah, it's it's okay. So I love myself through the process, but I just listened and listened, and I resonated with all the things that you said, or the majority of the things you said.
Hmm.
Um,
I feel the death of a lot of things in my life and also the growth in the same time. So I'm grieving and celebrating in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of the November, a chapter of my life closed, a relationship, like, the dream relationship, the dream house that we wanted to build,
The
and so
fairy
on.
tale.
So that crumbled and died. So yeah.
Mhm.
So but it's very interesting that now in December, I feel the taste of the signs of collaboration. And even if I'm learning boundaries skills and what are boundaries for me, and trying not to build walls instead of boundaries,
Mm.
I mean, not to block because of my trauma and because of my suffering, not to block the beautiful things that want to come in. So I'm in a process of learning and dancing with all this in on another level or another layer of what boundaries are, healthy boundaries are for me. And yeah, so about the death I talked about, and also the expansion. I had a workshop in my community town with another uh, person that is specialized on past life regression. So we collaborated, and we've done an event, and 40 people were in the room, and my voice was like, oh my God, my
Wow.
body, my voice I was feeling everything in the room, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to hide now. But in the same time, I was like, but you called in all this beautiful stuff. You called in expansion and
Mm-hmm.
growth. So
Yeah.
open and receive. Why you want to run now? Why you want to hide? And yes, about the holidays, I felt first I want to stay with friends, and wanted to, yeah, to stay within a large group. Then I said no, I want something more intimate. So from a large group proposal, I went to a 7, 8 person group proposal. And then I said, you know what? I just want to be myself with my cat at home. And this is what I've done. I refused all. And I don't know if they were upset or no, but if they were
There
upset,
you
they
go.
weren't
Yep.
truly my friends. So it's okay.
Mm.
uh, so yeah, I was pretty chill, and with my tea, and yeah, cooking, and I don't know, just staying cozy. Um, yeah, and about the inner child, also, I don't have children. I have 32 years old. I don't have children, but I worked at the kindergarten at some point, and I was very good at holding space for their emotion without punishments,
Mm.
without, and staying with them, hugging them when they were crying, and telling them that it's okay, whatever emotion they have. And I worked a lot with my inner child also. And funny enough, yesterday I went to a walk in the town, and I saw this skating place. It's a big skating place. And I was like on the fence looking like, oh, I want to skate also. And I didn't
Oh,
went, but my
yeah.
inner child was screaming that I want to go to skate. And I promised myself like I will go these days. I don't know why I didn't. But it's interesting how being alone, I was so focused on what I really, really need, and the answer came. It's so simple. Just go
Yes.
skating,
I
go
think we all
ice
assumed.
skating. Did I say that? Yeah, it's on ice. Okay, so it's on.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that is my place to be, and I really feel also that the next year will be much more easier. I do surrender into not knowing, and to release more of the control of what the future
Yeah.
is, and yeah, and
Mm.
just coming
Beautiful.
back to the present moment. So yeah, I take a
Take a
breath, and
breath. Yeah.
this is
That
what.
was one other thing. I think Bianca and I talked about this for December, is that we felt that the collective kind of taking a deep breath. And I've definitely felt
Yeah.
that, like just kind of a reset, or I don't know, in a way, kind of an like just surrendering to the exhaustion of it all, and just letting it happen. I love
Yeah.
that, Roxana. Thank you. Yeah. And I think, we all have People always say to me, oh, well, I don't have kids. We all have the instincts, I think. We all have, anytime you want to help, guide somebody, that's kind of that translates to kind of a parenting instinct kicking in, right? And so I've been saying what I teach is that, we need to move away from being their prison wardens to being kind of their gentle life coaches is where we're going. And if
Yeah.
you think about that dynamic too, life coaching, when you pay a life coach, they're not pestering you all the time, right? You're going to them when you need guidance. And that's what we need to allow to happen is, not just in kids as parents, but anybody, we've learned, I think, in a big way to not, like Bianca was talking about earlier, I think too, to not, or Eartha too, was to not push anything on them, to not, badger them. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Do you need any guidance? Do you need any guidance? Let them come to you. And so that's been a big lesson, I think, in the collective in general with other people. And now it's coming through bigger and for parents, because we've often, there is a school of thought out there that, kids they aren't people, and we're not supposed to treat them like people, right? They're like people in the works. And I just think that's a backwards way of, of presenting it, is that we need to be more here when they need us and not, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And that's definitely how I used to be.
And they will need more of our attention as well. What I
Right. In
see
different
is
ways.
overworked
Yeah.
moms, overworked dads, then the kids sitting in front of the TV. And this is not going to work. We will see more and more kids that are going to be distressed because of that, because they're not given enough room and space or opportunities to explore, right? Because they're being
Right.
set down in front of a TV or being told they need to be quiet right now.
Yep.
Instead, they need to also be offered the opportunities to grow, opportunities to go outside, to explore, to try this, to try that,
Well,
right?
they're going to start voicing it, right?
And
They're
I
going to
feel
start demanding it, really.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's what we call ADHD, right? So
Sure. Or acting out, right?
here
They
we
call it
have
being disrespectful or whatever. And
yeah,
we've got to step out of
yeah,
that, that we're better than them.
yeah,
We've got to step out of that and
yeah.
go, okay, what is he really?
And we need to make more time for them. We need to really think about, do we want to have all those other responsibilities? For example, if you have a mom and dad and both are working and the kids are always just been taken care of by somebody else that they maybe not even really get along with, but nobody's listening to them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we need to really
Lots
also
of the
create more
situations that
room and
need to
space.
change. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's,
yeah.
and not just, I admit I got a little triggered when you say more time, because, we do feel like as parents, we feel like they suck every minute of the day out of you.
Mhm.
Sometimes, you fall into that kind of trap, self-made trap, but it's time in a different way. It's more, we say,
Exactly.
oh, I like to say, I don't even say time. I like to say I engage with my kids. And that doesn't just mean I'm in the
Mhm.
same room.
Listen
We
to them.
turn off all the screens, we play
Yeah,
card
and
games,
it
we
doesn't always
talk,
need to
whatever.
be your time, Wendy.
Yeah.
It doesn't always need to be your time. It can be another trusted adult, another maybe a grandma or grandpa of choice, right? Rather
Yeah.
than a physical one, if the physical one isn't available or just doesn't want to,
It can
it's also
actually
about
be their time, because
yeah,
Wendy mentioned earlier about, like, I don't want to like make the whole thing about parenting, but
Right.
Wendy mentioned earlier about like helicopter parents. Children learn so many more things. My kids know so many more things because I have, said you're not getting a device to look at to babysit you,
Right.
and I am not playing with you, so go play something.
Yep.
Go discover what lays in your backyard. Go discover what lays down the street. You have a bike, you have feet. I'm not restricting you from, people will be like, oh my god, I'm terrified to let my child walk down the street. Why? You walk down the street all the time. What are they going to encounter? Whatever they encounter
Yeah.
will be the lesson that they need for that day. They are
mm,
also spiritual beings on a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's just like you said before, like, what, people don't treat children like humans. We don't treat them like spiritual beings either.
Exactly. Yeah.
We are all beings of
mhm,
spirit from the
yeah,
moment we step foot onto this earth. So, and before.
Yep.
So,
And they're here, in this
yeah,
generation, we know too, they're here with a lot less crap, right? Like it's our job. We took on this job, right, of clearing away all of this stuff, ancestral stuff. They don't have it. And we don't want them to, right? We want to do our job and take care of business
right.
this time
Mm-hmm.
so that they can build this new world, with our guidance. But it's I've often referred to like my generation or even my whatever category of light workers, whatever that even means, right? But we are the bulldozer operators. We're clearing away all the debris.
Mm-hmm.
We've knocked it down by self-healing, right? By going really deep and really looking at our demons, and now we got to clean it all up so they can start building. And they're chomping at the bit now, just like we are, right? Like they're starting to get really excited about what they came here to do
Mm-hmm.
because they know what's coming. So yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be very exciting. But yeah, definitely. And and we've been parenting so long out of fear, like everything, right? We've been living out of fear, but parenting out of fear too. And like I think some people, if they could, they'd wrap their kids in bubble wrap before they send them out anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, and it's true. And I have been in that place where I'm afraid for them to walk down the street. And so it's just about knowing that they chose this journey. Not, obviously not letting them, like get, like, oh, here comes a car. Don't say anything. Just let them get hit by a car. That's not what we're saying, right? We're saying, obviously, be the guide when they really need it, but don't force stuff on them and make it so
Mm-hmm.
that they can't grow
And
and be who they came here to be.
yeah, and I feel that's also what's coming. Like this has been there, of course, like all the time, and we're asked more and more next year as well to step into our creative powers of manifestation, and that's what we need to, teach the children. It's not about
Right,
um teaching them to be scared to walk down the street because this could happen, because then we're putting it in their fields,
right.
and the
The
chances
one in a
are they
million
will
chance
manifest
of something.
exactly that.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's about telling them about their creative powers, how they can play with their reality, and tapping into the trust of their capabilities, right? And that's the same with everyone. We're protecting so much fear, and
yeah,
we're tapping into their field of manifestation because we're putting fear into their field. That's what media is really good at, right? If you look at
yep.
that.
That's their job.
So we're really asked to let go, tap into the trust, and stop projecting our own programs and our own fears onto anyone. Not only the kids, can be also grandpa or grandma. What if grandpa
Absolutely.
falls down the stairs or
I
whatnot?
think anyone we
And
perceive as
yeah,
like kind of we're caregivers in any way, right? Yeah,
yeah, hmm
definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
Even parents, aging parents and yeah. Yeah, it's true. It all translates
yeah.
across the board. You don't have to be if I've had people like, join my parenting classes and not be parents because it does. It
hmm
because it was curious. Well, it was like more supporting me, right? It was, nice of them to come and support me. But then they're like, I got a lot out of that because it's the same. It's all about relationships, and that was huge for 2021. Is relationships shifted a lot in 2021. I don't think
hmm
anyone was immune to that,
They're getting more
right? And
powerful.
children,
If
yeah,
someone that has strong boundaries, as you were saying, Roxana, as well, right? Strong boundaries, strong sovereignty, and strong authenticity. And if they come together, right, it creates an even bigger field, right, of resonance.
definitely, yeah,
So they're getting more powerful in terms of the energetic field because the energies coming together get more powerful, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in a lot of ways too, they were kind of sitting back watching. Not that relationships didn't shift for them too, they absolutely did. But I think with a lot of, we saw a lot of long-term relationships fall away, a lot of marriages fall away, and the kids are,
Mm-hmm.
kind of, they're part of that. They are directly affected. But I also think that we don't give them enough credit for understanding what's really going on. No matter how old they are, on some level, they understand that this shift needs to take place. And so we hang on to relationships for them, right? When really they're probably on some deep level waiting, like, come on, let go, let go.
Right.
So that we,
And they're so sensitive
yes,
to
yeah,
energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're just stoked for their mission
Yeah.
and ready to go. And it's time for us to let them have more, John and I were talking about this earlier, sovereignty. They really have sovereignty, and all we need to do is teach them to feed it, right? Feed that sovereignty, encourage that sovereignty, and allow them to be sovereign. Like, like we said, when I was a kid, I would have gotten, smacked in the mouth and told to, which I did many times, and told to stop saying weird things. That's what my parents would tell me all the time. Stop saying weird things. And now when my kids say stuff, and my son will go, because he's got outside influences right besides me, but my teenager will go, I don't know why I said that. That was really dumb. And I said, don't you ever, like, his name is Corbin, and I always tell him, do not ever turn your Corbin down for anybody. Don't ever beat yourself up for being you. So, I want them to be unapologetically weird, because that's what the world needs.
I like that.
Yeah. Anybody, we're going to wrap this up in a few minutes if anybody wants
So
to.
guys, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well. Maybe if we just, throw in some keywords that we see for January, maybe that would be a nice
Perfect.
way
Go
to
for
end it. I see
I love
clarity.
that. I'm surrendering to that.
Expansion.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I see direction, clear clarity.
Oh, I like
direction.
that too. Yeah. I see a lot of the chaos from 2021 settling down.
Yeah.
Which will obviously allow us.
And new
Yes.
opportunities.
Yep.
New opportunities for everyone.
Really strong forward movement in a non like deep healing kind of way. Like, we've definitely been moving forward with the inner healing, but more forward movement.
Yeah.
Like I think Roxana was saying the collaborations. More collaborations, more, we're going to be solidifying these soul groups, whether they're family, friends, work, whatever. It's all going to be one, right? So here we come, 2022, the year, 6th year.
And
Death of the old.
another word that comes to me is truth. I mean, that's why everything died for me, because it was based on truth, I think. Truth is a very...
Anything that isn't that truth cannot exist anymore.
Thank you guys for this.
Thank you for being here, Roxana. Glad you could make it.
Thank you for this talk. I enjoyed being with you.
Likewise. Manisha, this is an open room, so if you want to add to anything, please feel free. If not, then there's no pressure on you. But I thought I'd give you the opportunity to speak if you wish.
No pressure. Nope, it's all good.
Cool. Okay.
Glad you were here, Manisha.
We can carry on. It's just I think it's just the constant evolution and appreciating the journey. That sometimes it's rough, and sometimes it's not rough, and that's all part of it. So just going into January with with all the wisdom that we've gained over specifically the pandemic, because that's been a kind of global collective experience that can now inform better choices and a more compassionate mindset for ourselves and everybody else.
And it's been the catalyst, right? It's definitely been the catalyst to this growth period. So to be grateful for whatever it has brought is important. Yeah. It's just it's going to be about stop wishing it was easier and surrender to it all. So I wish everybody a happy.
I see a lot of things coming into it's like 2020 and 2021 are going to like all of the lessons that we learned in 2020 and all of the lessons that we learned in 2021, which granted happens, throughout cycles of time anyway, but I just really feel strongly like this year is going to be kind of the culmination of the lessons that we learned there, because my lessons individually, and I think as a collective too, were so different between, 2020, we learned what magic was, almost, right? Like we learned that the possibility
Right.
of things, no, some people never, no one ever, I don't think, was like, the whole entire world could shut down
Right.
tomorrow because of an illness, like no one ever really, even with the Ebola scares and everything, like there were warnings, but no one was ever like, no, and then and then all of a sudden it was like in our face, like everything's closed, you're done. And so then it was like
We
a
were
lot of
forced.
inner,
Yep.
right? Like, what is the possibilities of what I can be? Yeah. And who am I? And, and then 2021 was more of like, okay, there are all of these possibilities. What are we going to choose? How are we going to live now that we know all of these things
Right.
about ourselves? Right. So I think 2022 kind of will bring that together in more solidified ways, like, because 2021,
Oh
it
my
was a
gosh,
lot of
right? Push and pull.
resistance, I felt like
Yep.
most of the year, right? Yeah, it was a lot of push and pull. And so this year, I think, like you guys were saying, like it's a lot of surrender. Like it's we learned these lessons, and um and and now, and we've learned how to kind of apply
Right.
them to the world. And now we're going to move forward in ways that are magical,
Right.
in ways that
And
are
be more
actionable
visible. Yep.
magic.
Actionable
That's my
magic.
word for 2022,
Love it.
actually. Actionable
Love it.
magic.
And will be more visible to the people who are kind of, I don't want to say lagging behind, but who are just coming into that realization, right? That this is what's going on. We're going to be more visible, and they're going to say, hey, if, I always think people look at me and go, well, if she can do it, right? Anybody can do this. So yeah, find your magic.
Mm-hmm.
Actionable magic. Make a meme. Make a meme. Put it out there.
That's right.
That's how we spread. That's how we spread
You make a meme.
information nowadays, right? Memes. Who could have ever predicted that too, right? Like, I remember when half of us were still saying May May because we had no idea how to pronounce it and what they were, and all of a sudden it's like that's how we communicate. Memes. It's all about the memes. Well, thank you everybody for being
Yeah.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
anybody? 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 One last. I do like to keep it at an hour, so we're gonna. Yeah, please. We do try to do this every Tuesday, 11:30 Mountain Time. Please join us whenever
Mm-hmm.
you can. Follow us so that you get notifications when we are on. And if you're not already in Inner Vibers Club, I encourage you to join the club as well. So we hope to see everybody next Tuesday, and we'll see how everybody's doing with the beginning of 2022. Again, like Bianca was saying, it's not going to follow the Gregorian calendar. The cosmos is a bitch that way. So just let it. But we are going to see a calming down. I think we all kind of agree on that calming down, clarity, and fucking actionable magic. Let's do this. So everybody have a great new year, and we will see you on
Woohoo!
the flip side. Thank you, everybody.